I was born on 18th February 1931 in Marion, Indiana, to Winton Dean and Mildred Wilson. My father left farming to become a dentist and moved the family to Santa Monica, California, where I attended Brentwood Public School. Several years later, my mother, whom I was very close to, died of cancer, and my father sent me back to Indiana to live on my aunt and uncle's Quaker farm. During this time, I sought counsel from my pastor, the Rev. James DeWeert, who influenced my later interest in car racing and theater. The two formed an intimate relationship that is rumored to have been sexual. In 1949, I graduated from high school and moved back to California. I studied law at Santa Monica College, but eventually transferred to University of California, Los Angeles, and majored in theater. After appearing in just one stage production as Malcolm in Macbeth, I dropped out of UCLA. My first television appearance was in a Pepsi Cola commercial, and my first speaking part was in Sailor Beware, a comedy starring Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. To make ends meet, I worked as a parking lot attendant at CBS Studios, where I met Rogers Brackett, a radio director who became my mentor. In 1951, I moved to New York City and I was admitted to the Actors Studio to study under Lee Strasberg. My career began to pick up and I performed in such 1950s television shows as Kraft Television Theater and Omnibus. In 1954, my success in a theatrical role as an Arab boy in the Moraris led to interest from Hollywood. Over the next 18 months, I starred in three major motion pictures, beginning with the film adaptation of John Steinbeck's novel, East of Eden. Director Elia Kazan chose me after my meet with Steinbeck, who thought me perfect for the part. Many of my scenes in the film were as scripted improvisation. I would eventually be nominated for an Oscar for this role, making me the first actor in history to receive a posthumous nomination. In my next film, I starred as the agonized teenager Jim Stark in Rebel Without a Cause, a role that would define my image in American culture. Then I landed a supporting role to Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson in Gian, playing an older, oil-rich Texan. Gian was my last film. It was released after my death in 1956. I received an Oscar nomination for this role, making me the only actor in history to receive more than one Oscar nomination posthumously. When I wasn't acting, I was professional car racer. On Friday, 30th September 1955, me and my mechanic Rolf Wutterich drove my new Porsche 550 Spider to a weekend racer in Salinas, California. At 3 p.m., we were stopped just south of Bakersfield and given a speeding ticket. Later, while driving a long route, 466, a 23-year-old Cal Poly student named Donald Turnapseed suddenly turned his Ford Custom in front of my Porsche. The two cars collided almost head-on, flipping the Spider in the air and landing it on its wheels in a gully. It was killed almost immediately. I was only 24.